She's just one of those people that when you come to Cincinnati, you know, people give you a list. You got to meet all these people. These people are the people you got to know, and Gwen's one of those people. You got to know Gwen.
Since basically when she arrived, I remember hearing about the arrival of Gwen Robinson to take over the CAA, which was pretty much in shambles at that time.
You know, multiple times I've marveled to myself that Gwen Robinson came here from Rockville, Illinois, and yet her passion for Cincinnati, the ease in which she got into the city and got involved, the depth of her knowledge, her real commitment, is like someone who lived here all their life.
I was at a convention in New Orleans, and I was in a session, and I ended up standing before the group espousing on my belief system. And there was a young lady in the audience that afterwards came up and said, "Can I have your resume?" And I said, "Sure." You know, and I'm thinking that she's looking at some consulting or helping out with a project, whatever. And until I said, "No problem." So I gave her my resume. I sent her my resume, not knowing that she was a headhunter that was hired, and Procter & Gamble paid for it, to find a CEO for Cincinnati.
I'm aware of the status of this agency when she arrived, that it was full of debt, that there was a hue and cry to close it down altogether, that it wasn't serving the people that it's tasked to serve. And so I consider Gwen to be a miracle worker. That's one of her qualities.
Got us out of debt, got us out of we had a major deficit. Got us out of that deficit. And I never forget, I was in DC for a meeting, and I was just sitting in my room and thinking about what it could be. And I came back convicted that we were going to build a new building. And the board, some of the members almost fainted. You know, they said, "We just got out of debt." And I said, "That was bad debt. We need to go into what I call good debt."
Gwen always gave more than 100% to any project, any committee, any board that she was on. It's just that she's just real committed, but so easy with people. Gwen can be with any group of people, whether it be the university professor or someone who walks through her door needing a little rent assistant. Gwen was just as respectful, just as easy with them, and always had that great smile.
What's up, beautiful? How is it to have beauty?
Good.
I have never been among a legend that's still alive, but I'm glad you're a legend, you're still alive. You deposit a lot.
And so I would say I was truly blessed, because the board, no one walked away, and they said, "If you're gonna do it, we're going with you." You know, and the leadership stepped up, and next thing you know, we were building a new center. And I was looking at TV, and they said the most blighted facility is the Dyer School site. No roof on it, the whole 9 yards. And I called the city, said, "I want that site." So they gave me the site for $1. Took it, and we did the demolition and built a building.
She had great vision and courage to stand up to the voices in the community who wanted to shut her down, and also the internal strife that she faced.
We were able to put together $21 million. And I was on a committee that was looking at how to transform this corridor of the community. And everybody made a commitment at the table. And they looked at me and said, "What is your commitment?" And I said, "I don't know yet, but I will tell you what it is very soon." And so I would come here and sit at night and just look at what could we do here. And the old Elder Bierman was sitting there, and Ellen Temple had just purchased the properties. And so I went to Reverend Jordan and said, "Let me buy 5 acres off of you." And it was the right time, because he needed to finish his church. And so we became partners. He sold me the 5 acres, and the board is sitting here saying, "We just finished one building and renovated another building, and now you're ready to go again." The board was saying, "Well, how are we going to pay for this building?" And I said, I don't know yet. I'll let you know when I get there.
Look what she has done. She has turned this agency into probably one of the best facilities in the nation and one of the top CAAs in the nation. And it's full of people every time I come because she's serving them. I know that she is the leadership, and from her, all of her employees are wonderful.
And I'm sitting in a meeting and hear Kim Fender, the president, executive of the library, sitting across from me. And I said, people need a library. And she said, well, we got one. I said, no, it's deteriorated. I mean, you don't have ceilings falling apart, toilets overrun, and you call that our library? And so I said, no, you're going to put a library in our building. And Kim said, she'll think about it. And the more she thought about it, it was the right thing to do. And so we have a 20-year lease with the library. And so then the next thing you know, I said, what else do they need? Well, clinic. We have a full clinic. When I'm said full, OBGYN, pediatric, adult, we got it all, dentistry, we got everything in one facility. So now, you got a one-stop center for everybody. I wanted a room where the community could convene, so we have an auditorium. And so everything has been going on here, from political debates to lectures, all kinds of meetings, from the NAACP to everybody meets here. This is the village. So I think we accomplished what we needed to do.
She cares so deeply about the people that she serves and that she works with and that she partners with. And I've had the opportunity to do all kinds of stuff with her. I mean, to help or at least, sort of be a champion for them as they, got their Head Start program up to, the highest quality rating, worked alongside of her as part of the Preschool Promise. I mean, all kinds of amazing programs that they have led under her leadership. And, she's just a deeply caring human being.
We have a Head Start program where all these beautiful children are in a classroom setting, starting very young. And we mandate that our parents have a part of that curriculum. They can walk in the classroom any time of day. There's something for them to do. But what we've done is say, okay, but it's more than just mom who's coming up here. We got to remember there's a dad somewhere in the picture. Even if mom and dad are not together, we still got to remember dad. So we have a fatherhood and a male involvement. I mean, we promote that so that Father, you still have a responsibility. And it's fascinating how the men have just fallen in. They may not ever see the mom, but they understand their child. They understand how to be a better father.
Both of us have had a career that involved community service. So I was always speaking, because as you know, I'm a retired judge, and part of I felt my duty was to educate and inform the public, and to come up with diversion programs and alternatives to jail. And so our paths merged because both of us care about the plight of the disadvantaged.
Our agency is conscious of the community. We make sure that the low-income families are not forgotten. We're able to use resources to help them. So when I have the corporate community coming into this building, they're helping them. Community actions agencies have a voice of civility and realism. That if you're talking about dealing with poverty, you need to include the community action agency. If you're talking about employment, you need to include the community action agency. We have that broad base, that understanding of what's really going on, because 90% of my staff come from those same situations. They come from those communities. They live next door to them, or they've been there themselves. And so that's who we hire. That's who works here. That's who got the understanding. I truly believe that each and every one of us made and placed here for a reason. And I think that it's important that we believe enough in ourselves that we don't need affirmation from everybody. And it took me a while to understand that, but I thank my mother, because she said, you don't need to run with them if you got cheerleading practice, and you don't have to do this if you want to study and get an A in algebra. And so I learned to like me, and I think if we all understood the love we could have for our own selves first, that we'll have love to share.
we're going to miss you in this community, at least in the CAA portion of it. But I know you're not stepping down altogether from the public. I know that you'll be serving in some capacity. And I know that we will continue to see your works because you have vision and you've carried it out. So we need you to continue to do that. So stick around and don't leave us, Gwen.
Gwen, I'm glad you're not leaving Cincinnati. I'm glad that you're simply retiring. And the only thing I want to say to you, Gwen, is first of all, your work here and the impact of your work are really for those yet to be born, because you've laid a great foundation. And lastly, I want to say, for a person like you who's taking care of so many other people, now's the time in life and time for you to take care of yourself. Enjoy retirement and keep that wonderful smile. And I'm always proud to call you my friend.
All right, Miss Gwen, it's not over. We got a lot of work to do, so let's go.